Guess what Mum's cooked up for us today?
Oh, would it be turkey and 16 veg?
Don't be silly, not for Easter.
It's Christmas.
Taking French onion soup about as far as it can go.
Are going to have their puddings this Christmas, and what's more, real eggs are included in the ingredients.
Christmas was a magical time filled with laughter and tantalizing aromas. Unfortunately, some exquisite and well-loved recipes like roasted stuffed turkey or honey-glazed spiced carrots have disappeared from the Christmas table.
I stick the knife in here, the turkey goes round and around.
Welcome to Days Gone By, where we reminisce about Christmas dishes we all enjoyed in the 1970s.
What are you doing? I wanted to eat a pig in a blanket. In a blanket.
The holiday crown roast made a magnificent Christmas meal and table centerpiece. It was formed by curving the bone-in pork loin, the big muscle running along the pig's back, into a circle, with the ribs facing upward. It was an elegant but straightforward meal, flavored with kosher salt, dried thyme, paprika, crushed rosemary, and sage.
It is a British tradition dating way back to the Victorian era. When it comes to flavor and regal presentation, nothing rivals a crown roast of pork.
The roast was placed in a roasting tray and the rib ends were wrapped in foil. It was baked for 2 to 2.5 hours in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or until an inserted thermometer read 145 degrees. After baking, the roast rested for 15 minutes before carving. The roast was a valued tradition, and family members gathered around, eagerly awaiting the first carving of the herb-infused and flavorful roast. Roast turkey has long been an American Christmas staple. Cranberries, loved for their sour flavor and preservative qualities, have been a part of North America for centuries. By the 18th century, boiling cranberries into a sweet sour sauce to complement roast meats had become familiar. The sweet tangy taste of the cranberries paired beautifully with the savory turkey flavors and added a burst of color to the dinner table. Potato au gratin is a classic French recipe that originated in Europe in the 16th century. In America, we trace it to the North American French communities. The dish is a delicious mix of thinly sliced potatoes and onions baked in a buttercream garlic sauce, sprinkled with thyme and layered with cheese. The mixture was covered and baked for 75 minutes, then uncovered to create a crispy golden crust on the top layer. Talking about 70s dishes without including the prime rib roast would be a crime. The prime rib is a premium beef cut from the rib section, famous for its tenderness. It comprises ribs 6 to 12, each weighing approximately 2 pounds. The marbling, intramuscular fat that melts during roasting gave the roast its unique and juicy flavor. The term prime rib is part of the USDA's grading system for the highest beef quality, based on age and marbling. Not all beef is prime. Some may be graded as choice. Still a high-quality beef with less marbling. Traditionally, the prime roast was roasted with bone, which enhanced its flavor and allowed the meat to roast evenly. The meat was seasoned with garlic, salt, rosemary, and pepper, allowed to sit at room temperature, and then roasted. A popular method involved reverse searing, roasting at low temperatures until the meat reached a specific internal temperature, then turning up the heat for a crispy crust. In the 70s, honey-glazed spiced carrots were the rage at Christmas parties, served as a sweet and spicy starter. The dish included spices like smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, and cumin, combined with honey. This blend gave the carrots a glossy glazed look and added flavor and color to any table. The carrots were peeled and tossed into a mixture of honey, melted butter, and spices, then roasted until tender and the honey caramelized. This dish paired excellently with both roasted meats and vegetarian dishes. Glazed ham was another beloved Christmas dish in the 70s. It elevated the flavor of cured pork with a sweet and savory glaze. The surface of the ham was scored in a crisscross pattern, allowing the glaze to permeate and creating an aesthetic appeal. The glaze was made with a base of honey, maple syrup, or brown sugar, balanced with acidic elements like pineapple, orange juice, or vinegar. To enhance the flavor, spices such as cloves, allspice, cinnamon, and occasionally soy sauce or mustard were added. The ham was basted several times to ensure an even glossy shine when ready. The caramelized sugars formed a slightly sticky but beautifully golden crust that contrasted with the savory ham underneath. Leftovers never went to waste, often becoming soups, breakfast dishes, or sandwiches. In the United States, our pigs in a blanket referred to sausages or hot dogs wrapped in croissant or biscuit dough before baking. In the United Kingdom, this dish includes chipolatas or small sausages wrapped in bacon. This versatile and favorite appetizer was a highlight of Christmas parties in the 70s. Some people experimented and used dough flavored with cheddar, garlic, or other flavors of choice. Other twists included sprinkling the dough with grated cheese and sesame or poppy seeds for an aesthetic look. The dough was baked to a golden brown and went well with dipping sauces like spicy ketchup and honey mustard.
Duck à l'orange is probably one of the most popular French dishes in the United States. And this amazing combination of flavors that actually originated in the Middle East.
Also known as canard à l'orange, roast duck with orange sauce is a classic French delicacy that balances citrusy notes with savory duck flavors. The dish consisted of a high-quality duck with a balanced fat content and tender meat, such as the Peking or Long Island variety. The duck was seasoned with salt and pepper and infused with thyme or rosemary. The skin was scored to allow fat rendering during cooking. During roasting, the duck skin was seared at high heat and then cooked at a lower temperature to ensure it cooked thorough and remained tender and juicy. The orange sauce added a sweet yet tangy twist to the dish. The citrusy base included orange zest combined with freshly squeezed orange juice. For the caramel, sugar was dissolved in vinegar, combined with orange juice and deglazed, followed by a dash of butter to give it a silky smooth texture. The duck could be accompanied by foods that complemented its rich and savory flavors, like green beans or roast potatoes. An exquisite delicacy that disappeared from Christmas tables is chocolate rum balls. There were two versions of these sinfully delicious treats. The classic version used confectioner sugar, crushed vanilla wafers, sweet cocoa powder, light corn syrup, chopped walnuts, and rum. The ingredients were mixed in a bowl and blended with rum and corn syrup. The mixture was shaped into small 1-inch balls and then rolled in confectioner sugar. They were stored in an airtight container for a few days to let the flavors fuse. The other version used confectioner sugar, cheese, rum, almonds, coffee, granules, and melted chocolate. The rum was warmed up and coffee granules dissolved in it. The cream cheese, almonds, and confectioner sugar were beaten together. The melted chocolate was poured next, and the mixture was placed in the fridge until firm. You then rolled the mixture into small balls and coated them with crushed cookies. Delicious as they were, these treats were too time-consuming, and with time they disappeared from the Christmas menu. Beef stroganoff was named after a late 19th century Russian count, Alexander Grigorovich Stroganov. The dish consists of tender sautéed beef pieces and mushrooms in a sour cream and mustard sauce, served over mashed potatoes or egg noodles. The hearty dish somehow found itself on American Christmas dinner tables in the 1970s, and with good reason. It was filling and perfect for a large gathering. When turkey became a popular and cherished holiday meal for Americans, it spilled over to Christmas dinners. The tradition of stuffing a turkey with different ingredients dates back centuries, and it became a Christmas ritual that symbolized warmth and the joy of sharing a meal with family. In the 1970s, families would gather in one home, mainly the parents, and spend the entire holiday together. These large gatherings needed large meals, leading to the gravitation towards stuffed turkeys for Christmas. Before roasting, you could stuff the turkey with whatever you desired, such as bread and veggies. A stuffed turkey was synonymous with Christmas and the epitome of the holiday season. We all looked forward to that moment when the turkey was carved and the aroma of the savory meat filled the room. The pineapple upside-down cake dates back to colonial times, although the exact origin is unknown. It gained popularity in the 1900s when James Drummond Dole started growing pineapples in Hawaii and founded the Hawaiian Pineapple Company. If you've always wondered why Hawaii recipes are synonymous with pineapples, now you know. Before Dole popularized pineapples, they were a luxury in the 16th and 17th centuries, indicating wealth and status. Baking pineapple upside-down cake is easy. Melt butter and brown sugar in a pan. Arrange pineapple rings or pieces in the mixture. Pour a basic cake batter from flour, sugar, milk, or eggs over the pineapple mixture. Bake the cake and flip it over to reveal the pineapple topping. The pineapple upside-down cake became famous after the Hawaiian Pineapple Company ran a contest. and received 2,500 variations. Its popularity declined with time due to changing palates and the availability and convenience of store-bought desserts.
Everything I can show you about onion soup, and we've really, as we can say, taken French onion soup about as far as it can go.
French onion soup is a delicious French soup made of caramelized onions in a rich beef broth. It was popularized by Julia Child, who had a cooking show and was the author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking. The Kennedy administration also popularized French food, as the Kennedys had a passion for French cuisine. The soup became a trend during Christmas, but its popularity waned with time. It's still an excellent soup that you can prepare anytime, not just Christmas. The rum-soaked fruit cake has a long history, dating back to medieval times. People would mix figs, dates, raisins to create a delicious treat eaten during festivities. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the rum-soaked fruitcake was already a staple in almost every home, packed with preserved fruits, nuts, and spices, and eaten during weddings or other occasions. In the Caribbean, they had their version of a black cake. They soaked the fruit for several months, up to a year, adding flavor and depth to the cake. During the Prohibition years in the 1900s, the cake became ideal for smuggling booze into prisons. The commercialization of the cake led to a decline in its popularity. The mass-produced cakes lacked the richness of a homemade rum-soaked cake, and people stopped buying them.
It's actually a really good garlic bread. Garlic bread is my favorite food. I could honestly eat it for every meal, or just eat it all the time without even stopping.
You get fat.
No, why would I get fat?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
Garlic bread was a hot favorite and needs no introduction today. In the 1950s, it was served in restaurants almost exclusively with pasta dishes like spaghetti and lasagna. It only became popular in the 1970s when it became commercialized. Cole's Quality Foods was the first company to make frozen garlic bread, which was a massive hit. People did not limit themselves and ate it with any food or soup. It quickly became a Christmas staple, but its popularity declined with time. Chicken liver pâté was a French delicacy from the 70s that was seen as a symbol of sophistication. It comprised finely ground chicken liver, cream, butter, and some cognac or brandy, then blended to form a smooth mixture. Served at room temperature, it was a favorite charcuterie board staple and a must-have at Christmas parties. It was served alongside delicate crackers or crunchy baguettes. It offered a creamy and indulgent texture and an exquisite mellow flavor. It was a favorite for a while, but taste changed with time, and it completely disappeared from Christmas tables. In ancient Greek myths, ambrosia was the food of the Greek gods, depicted as giving the consumer immortality or longevity. Ambrosia salad is a classic American fruit salad originating in the southern United States. It includes mandarin orange slices, canned or fresh pineapple, tiny marshmallows, and shredded coconut. Other optional ingredients include fruits and nuts like strawberries, bananas, maraschino cherries, and pecans. Some recipes may include mayonnaise or dairy products like whipped cream, sour cream, or yogurt.
Every time I bring these stuffed mushrooms to a holiday party, they disappear fast.
Stuffed mushrooms are a popular American appetizer with Italian roots. For eons, Italians have stuffed vegetables with delicious fillings. Caps such as Gemini or button mushrooms are cleaned, and the stem is removed to hollow them out. The stems are then finely chopped to make part of the filling. Typical fillings include onions, breadcrumbs with garlic, and herbs like parsley or thyme. You could also make them richer by sprinkling cheeses like mozzarella or Parmesan. The mushrooms were boiled or baked until the caps were tender and the fillings turned a golden brown. Garnishing included parsley, a sprinkle of olive oil, or grated cheese. Green bean casserole is an American baked side dish that consists of green beans, French fried onions, and a cream of mushroom soup. Dorcas Riley of the Campbell Soup Company created the recipe in 1955. Her initial goal was to create a delicious recipe using only everyday pantry items. The casserole quickly became a favorite with Americans for Thanksgiving and Christmas, loved for its crunchy topping and creamy texture.
Look at that gorgeous custard pie.
An eggnog pie had roots in medieval Britain, where monks would enjoy posset, a hot milk drink curdled with ale or wine. The posset was often spiced for extra flavor and warmth, as it was used as a remedy. The original recipe died out, and in the 20th century it became cold dessert. Eggnog became associated with Christmas cheer and the key ingredient in eggnog pie. This pie was a no-bake dessert and the eggnog, sugar, and other flavors were poured into a graham cracker crust and chilled. A sprinkling of nutmeg was the last garnish before enjoying the delicious dessert. Translated, tiramisu means pick-me-up, and it was invented in northeast Italy in the 19th century. It peaked in the 1970s when the tiramisu Yule cake became a Christmas staple in American homes. The tiramisu consists of fluffy and moist vanilla layers drenched in coffee, liquor, brandy, and espresso. Between each delicious layer lies a creamy mascarpone custard. The outside of the cake is slathered with luxurious Swiss meringue buttercream. Hundreds of sweet and savory dishes graced American Christmas dinner tables in the 70s. Changing times, preferences, and the emergence of store-bought varieties have much to do with dishes disappearing from our menus. The recipes were usually handed down through generations, but when people stopped cooking them, they slowly slipped our memories. This Christmas, you can either look back with nostalgia or roll up your sleeves, look for Grandma's recipe book, and whip up a great 70s meal. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share, and tell us in the comments section below what your favorite dish from the 70s was. Press that notification bell to instantly receive a notification every time we post a video. See you in the next one.